masculine man, take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight. A modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't break you, are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, bitch. Woo!
What up, fam? How y'all doing? It's another Sunday morning, and we here for a discussion. Not much so as a Bible story, but we use a little scripture to go through. We want to talk about what exactly is a Jew. Where does this word Jew come from? And you got these so many words that you use interchangeably. And some people don't like the word Jew. Some people don't like the word Hebrew. Some people don't like the word Israelite. We're going to talk about where these words come from and how is this relative toward us today? How could something as far back as the Bible, which is the biggest media ever put out on this earth, the most influential piece of media ever, how something as far back as the Bible could be actually influencing today's time? And you got this group of people that still has control of the media, still has a grip on the world from this long ago. And see, with Trump being in office now, it's a lot of things going on and a lot of conversations being said about who are the Jews, what's going on in Israel right now, what's the difference in Israel and Jerusalem, why are these places holy places, why is three religions coming out of this part? It is just people borrowing stories. It's very simple. It's simple, not only simple, it's sad. People do it today. They do it all the time. The young kids do it all the time. It's just such a simple. And I want to make it simple and plain. And I don't want to use too much Bible. I'm going to do some explaining. It's just as simple as saying, that's my cousin and that ain't your cousin. That's my cousin. What's up, fam? That's my cousin. I have been in situations where I was with a woman, messing with a woman, and another woman came up and gave me a hug, and she could see that me and this woman had an affectionate relationship. And she said, who that? Oh, that's my cousin. And once I call her my cousin, that girl could sit down and drink with us and smoke with us and chill with us. And I didn't fuck that girl before. And she'll laugh in that girl's face and act like she was my real cousin. So that's what it's like. That's my best friend. Or it happens all the time that you've said, oh, that's my brother. That's my brother. It's a guy they talking to. And it's like, girl, that's my brother. And you be like, that's your real brother? Be like, no. Like, so what do y'all do? Or how y'all so close that he your brother? So I want to get started today by playing a jam that I'm working on. And y'all let me know what y'all think. It's a jam I'm working on for my Aggressive Church intro.
What up, family? I'd like to welcome y'all to Aggressive Church. But we do things a little different around here. But we go through the scriptures and read the real fucking Bible. And regardless of what you say and how you feel, we just gonna teach God's word and let the chips fall where it may.
Y'all get ready for
Y'all
Sunday
understand
service.
that? Said and talked about my Savior, pierced his hands and feet. And if Jesus had his haters, hate don't look on me. You know when that dreadful day comes, you can't die for me. So somebody pass me my liquor drink. Lord knows, Lord knows, and I'm gonna weed. Lord knows, I'm gonna have me a lady or two. Lord, I'm in the streets. You can lead a sin to me. So they talked about my Savior, pierced his hands Jesus had his haters, hey, don't look on me. You know when that dreadful day comes, you can't die for me. So somebody pass me my liquor dream. Lord knows, Lord knows, and I'm gonna weep. Lord knows, I'm gonna have me a minute too. Lord, I'm in the street. You can lead a sinning to me.
Yes, sir. I made that song because people always got something to say about my Sunday service. You ain't got to cuss. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to act like this. This is Sunday service. It's my motherfucking service. And if I had it, I would get me one going right now. Somebody pass me my liquor dream. Let's get into this morning's message. Let's talk about what is a Jew, who is a Jew. There's so many words that's used to describe this. So let's get into the first word, Hebrew. Hebrew was the first word to describe these people. And when it was Hebrew, it was just a people. It wasn't a nation. You understand that? A Hebrew was a people. It wasn't a nation. It's a people of Abraham, a wandering group of people. Hebrews were nomads. They wandered. They were farmers. They settled and they wandered in areas. And it was just a group of people. They didn't own anything. They didn't have anything. They were just a people. The Hebrews. The Hebrews. Then they turned into a nation where they actually had a promise when they owned some land. Now they have the nation of Israel. The Hebrew people who were wanderers were promised a promised land by God called Canaan, which is modern day Israel. So you have a group of wandering people who were homeless, who received favor from God and became the nation of Israel. Historically, the nation of Israel split in half, meaning 10 tribes of the nation of Israel, because Jacob had 12 sons. I'm explaining to you. We're going to get into it. I'm just giving you the history. Jacob wrestled with the angel of God and prevailed. Jacob told God's angel, I will not let you go until you bless me. Now, we know this is some bullshit. We know that Jacob, a man, didn't actually wrestle with an angel, and the angel was like, damn, let me go, let me go, let me go. And Jacob said, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. And let's read that. We got to get into this thing from the beginning. And when Jacob wrestled with this angel and said, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me, God said, look, man, you a faithful motherfucker. You fought an angel all night. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you with a promised land. And then that promised land, Canaan, became Israel. When the 12 tribes split, the 2 tribes, Benjamin and Manasseh, Judah and Benjamin. Judah and Benjamin, those were 2 tribes. They stayed in the lower half of Israel, which became known as Judah. Remember, we talked about Judah. We talked about Judah the other day and what he did with the whores. You see, he's in the line of Jesus. When Israel and Judah split, eventually the kingdom of Israel was torn down. Boom. Now you have the kingdom of Judah left. So guess what? People wanted to be associated with the kingdom of Judah. Why? Because the God of Israel had destroyed the nation of Israel. So everybody wanted to fuck with Judah. And Judah was a place now. Now that you have a place, anybody that live in that place would be considered a Judahite, or for short, a Jew. Then let me explain this to you so you understand this. It's no different than, let's take a city. I see my boy Trav on here. I use Charlotte, North Carolina. There could have been a family called the Perrys, right? Family called the Perrys. And this family was wanderers, just a family doing their thing. And they happened to settle in a place. And they set up an altar there. And the first child that was there was named Charlotte. So they said, we're going to call this place of the Perry family Charlotte because of this first child being born here. Now, people that live in this place are charlatans. You get it? However, they not Perrys. They ain't got no bloodline to trap. They ain't got no bloodline to trap. They don't know nothing about why this place is called Charlotte, but they live there. So they're charlatans. Listen so you can understand. This place right here was known as something that we live. Somebody called it America. Everybody that comes to this place is what? Americans. But everybody that come to this place ain't the motherfuckers who was wandering the land in the beginning like Abraham. Are y'all following me? So they call them indigenous people who were wandering this land that we know as America. These indigenous people, let's call them the Hebrews, were wandering this land. And they didn't try to own the land. They moved. I don't want this one spot. This spot ain't no more sacred than another spot. The only way we can make a spot more sacred is to say God said we can have it. And that's how you make a spot sacred. That's how you make a spot sacred. If it's water there and grass there, shit, I want to go anywhere. That's what the Bible said. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me beside still waters. He's taking me into green pastures. What you mean? It's grass here. It's water here. It's food here. Why are we fighting over one motherfucking spot? Because lies come and resources come in the hand. And that's when the first motherfucking lie was ever invented by the biggest motherfucking media controller ever. God said, this spot right here is ours. Why is this yours? Because Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all that bullshit that you read in the Bible, we want this. This ours. This is sacred. What makes something sacred? When you really think about it, the sacredness of something comes from somebody older or an elder blessing it. Man, this is my goddamn favorite pen, man. I kill over this motherfucking pen, nigga. Man, why that pen me? Man, my great granddaddy signed the bill on his first deed on land with this motherfucking pen. Oh, that's why you care about that pen so much. It's got your granddaddy's blood, sweat, and tears on it. That's why they fighting over this land in the Gaza Strip now. Now let's break it down. The Hebrews were wandering around in the forest, just living. And Abraham was just a good motherfucking dude. And God looked down and said, you know what? You walking around amongst all these different people with all these different gods and all these different shit, and you ain't figured out nobody to serve yet. You just doing right just because you a good dude. You ain't got no laws and rules on why you doing good. You just a good man by heart. I like you, nigga. That's the story. Abraham found favor in the eyes of God. And when Abraham found favor in the eyes of God, God said to Abraham, listen here, man, I'm going to bless you. And not only am I bless you, I'm going to bless you so that your seeds are innumerable amongst the earth. Remember that saying, your seeds are innumerable. And Abraham said, how you going to bless me? I ain't got no motherfucking kids. Abraham said, I don't have any children, God. How can you bless me? Because a blessing was children. And anything that you gave me, if I couldn't pass it down, was it really a blessing? That's what we don't realize now. If I got something that I can't get to my kids, it ain't no blessing. What the fuck is this for you just to enjoy, motherfucker? Oh, this right here just for me to eat, drink, and live off the land. And when I die, my children got to go wander somewhere else and suffer. Hey, Chris, can you bring me some water? Let me turn this AC around toward me, y'all. I need to fix something. It's hot in this motherfucker. Y'all hold up. So Abraham said, how you gonna bless me? I ain't got no kids. God said, you gonna have a son. Abraham said, look, my wife is goddamn 109 years old. Ain't no way in the hell she gonna have a son. Abraham said, maybe I have to pass it on to one of my slave children. God said, you gonna have a son, man. Now, if Abraham is so believing of God, let's just read that real quick. So you got to see that. This is where you see, I don't want to call it the fuckery. I call it the bullshit, the fuckery. So we about to read that. Somebody put this up for me. Genesis 18. Genesis 18. Genesis chapter 18. Somebody put it on the screen for me. I don't know why my phone is acting so goddamn fucked up today. Now, basically, three angels came. It'd always be an angel. This is what kills me. Long story short, three angels come. Abraham said, look, get ready. We're going to feed these angels something to eat. They in there chilling. And they, verse 9, and they said unto him, where is Sarah, thy wife? And behold, in the tent. And she said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. They told him, Abraham, Sarah, your wife, gonna have a son. And Sarah was old and stricken with age. She laughed, you know, like a woman. She's like, shit, this old pussy ain't pushing out no damn son. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed in herself. Am I waxed old? Shall I have pleasure? My Lord also being old? She said, my goddamn husband too old to make a baby, and I'm too old to have one. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh? He said, why your bitch laughing? I'm God. Think about it. And the Lord said, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I have sure to bear a child, which I'm old? God said, the angel said, why your bitch laughing, man? I'm God. Is there anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Now Sarah denied again. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid, and now that thou laugh. And the men rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. Now, this is Abraham being told he gonna have a son. He loved God and believed God, all this shit, but God told him you're gonna have a son. Now he don't got no faith because his bitch is discouraging him. Think that. His bitch is discouraging him. God then went and handpicked Abraham. You the man, you got all this faith. I like you. I like fucking with you. You got all this faith. You gonna have a son. And Abraham said, well, my bitch laughed. I don't know if it's true. God said, you're going to have a son. What y'all think happened? Sarah go to Abraham and said, go in there and fuck that young handmaiden of yours. That way you can have a son. Because whatever the fuck God talking about, you know damn well we told I'm too old to have a baby. So what y'all think Abraham do? This nigga that's supposed to love God and believe God so much, who God promised all this shit to that we fight over. He said, because an android, that's funny. All this shit we fight over, Abraham ain't believe God. He ain't believe God. Abraham went in there and fucked his handmaiden. And they birthed a child named Ishmael. And Ishmael is actually the father to the Muslims. So that's why it's so funny. Notice how when Muhammad, side note, when Muhammad came out with Islam, he didn't want to reinvent the wheel. Too many people already fuck with Abraham. So when he came out with Islam, he knew people was going to say, fuck this new religion. We fuck with Abraham. So Muhammad said, well, Abraham, other son, Ishmael, he the father of us. That's my cousin. You see what I'm saying? All this shit is that's my cousins. So Abraham go in and he fuck his handmaid and they have a child. And then God said, that ain't what I told you to motherfucking do. Fuck Sarah. So he fucked Sarah. And when he fucked Sarah, he had a child by his wife. That was the child of promise. He named that child Isaac. Then God told him, go sacrifice Isaac on the mountain. Go kill the child. Now, Abraham went and did that. Abraham went and did that. He gonna kill the child. He ain't believing, but he gonna kill the child. God spared the child. So Abraham begat Isaac. Then Isaac begat Jacob. Let me stop my phone. Once Isaac begat Jacob, that's when you got a nation coming in. Now get what I'm saying. Abraham is indigenous people wandering around on the land. It's not been called America yet. It's not a nation. And everybody here damn sure ain't the same thing. Now we live in America. Everybody here is American, but everybody ain't white. Everybody ain't black. Everybody ain't Indian. Everybody is a different thing. That's how it is with Jews now. You don't have to be of the bloodline to be a Jew when they bring bullshit in. That's like you don't have to be of the bloodline of the indigenous people to be called an American. So Abraham, when he begat Isaac and Isaac begat Jacob, Jacob wrestled with an angel one night and God said, your name is Israel now. Your name is Israel. And Israel had 12 sons. And of those 12 sons, there was one son that he had named Joseph. Joseph was like, they called him a prideful boy. Joseph went to his brothers and said, look, you know, God gonna exalt me above everybody. And they was like, what, motherfucker? What you mean, God? And he said, I had a dream that goddamn 12 stalks bow down to me and even the sun and the moon. So they took that as you saying all your brothers gonna bow down to you, motherfucker, and mom and daddy gonna bow down to you. Now think about this. Israel had already gave Joseph a special coat. So they was already jealous of the motherfucker anyway. Guess what they did to their own brother? God's chosen people now. These are God's chosen people. Sold their own brother into Egypt. These are God's chosen people. 1 minute they faithful and do the best shit in the earth. And the second minute they do some shit like sell their own fucking brother into slavery. Don't that sound like humans now? When we want to do some fuck shit, we just do it. But then when we want to hold somebody to something, we put God on it. Ain't that what we do? We do all the fuck shit we want to, but when we want to make sure somebody gonna do us right, swear to God. Swear to God, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't give a fuck about God when you was doing your fuck shit, but when you want to make sure you straight, you put God on it. They sold this nigga into slavery. And he was a special type nigga. The Pharaoh liked him. And he came up. And that's where you get all that Moses in Egypt. The children of Israel went to Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? The children of Israel went to Egypt. But remember, God had promised them a nation. You have to understand. That's why black people call themselves Hebrew Israelites. They don't call themselves black Jews. Black people that say they fuck with that shit, they call themselves Hebrew Israelites. They don't walk around saying, I'm a black Jew. I'm a black Jew. I'm a black Jew. I'm a black Jew. So you have to understand the Hebrews, they hadn't become a nation yet. When God promised Israel, who was formerly Jacob, a nation, now these motherfuckers said, we want a piece of land. Before we was just wandering motherfuckers. We was the Hebrew family wandering in the desert. Now you done call me Jacob and Israel and I can have a piece of land now. Where is it at? Where's the fucking land at? So they go into captivity to Egypt and you have all this Moses shit going on. Y'all know the story. Y'all seen the movie. And when God freed them from Egypt, they wander in the desert for 40 years because of a mistake. They're looking for Canaan. Canaan is modern day Israel. They're looking for Canaan. So the reason this place Israel is so fought over, because this is a covenant. This place, they call that, we was promised this to God. Not these motherfuckers with these little twists and white hats and black suits. These motherfuckers didn't exist at the time. These motherfuckers are not the ones that this was about. They wrote themselves into it. And that's why you can't challenge them. These motherfuckers were geniuses. It's just like right now. Them El Salvadorians coming over to America, them Venezuelans are coming in illegally. They finna get licensed and have American citizenship. And guess what they gonna be telling you? I'm American, my friend. And you be looking, you ain't no motherfucking American. You American-ish. Same way them motherfuckers looking at, I'm Jewish. I'm a Jew. You like, nah, you ain't Jew. You Jewish. Where you think we get the word anti-Semite from? Semite comes from the children of Shem. Shemite. So that's where the word Semite come from. So if you are anti-Jewish, you're considered anti-Semitic. But think about the word semantic. You ever heard somebody say, man, that's just semantics. Motherfucking potato, potato, tomato, tomato. That's just semantics. It's a play on words. That's what the Semites do. That's why Jews got everybody confused. Hebrew, Israelite, Jew. How do we get in? Obviously, you white motherfuckers want the people from back in the day. Oh, we were engrafted in. And that's where Paul come in. And I'm going to get into some scripture for that. So these were travelers that were promised a nation. And once they was promised a nation, once they go into this nation, the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judah separate. Israel is abolished. And the fucking temple is in Jerusalem in Judah. So now everybody says, fuck Israel. That's why you don't hear Israel. Them motherfuckers call themselves Zionists. They call themselves Jews. Those white people don't call themselves Israelites. They don't give a fuck about Israel. They don't give a fuck about that. They give a fuck about Judah, the place. The place. Now that we moved here, we Jews. It's just like I live in Durham. They call us Durmites. Y'all do me a favor so I can understand that y'all getting this. Whatever your city that you live in, what do they call y'all? Like somebody from Memphis, they might call them Memphians. Somebody from Durham, they call a Durmite. Somebody from Alabama, they call them a Bama. You see what I'm saying? List your city and what do they call y'all? People that live in New York, the Big Apple. They are calling themselves by their place, Jacksonian. You understand? This is your residence. This is not your bloodline. This is your residence. This is not your bloodline. There were actually a group of people that founded certain places. Delawareans. But there are actually families that they didn't found. They stake claim on the land. And this is this family's land. I live in North Carolina. Why is my state called Carolina? That was a queen. Virginia, there was a queen. Jamestown, that's named after a person. Charlotte, named after a person. But you live in Charlotte, but you ain't part of that family line that city is named after. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can walk around claiming Charlotte, 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 Charlotte all you want to and get all the benefits of living in Charlotte, but you are not the bloodline. You're not a descendant of Queen Charlotte, who that city is named after. And that's how it is with the Jews, and that's how the Jews got in. Now, I want to talk about Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and why the Jews are allowed to be in. Let me read this to y'all real quick. Under the old covenant, now listen, notice we have an Old Testament, an old covenant, and a New Testament, a new covenant. And the old covenant is the law that God laid down for the Hebrew people. Abraham, Jacob, I promise you, you can have this land, Israel, if you follow this shit right here. When you sin, sacrifice animals, sacrifice fruit, sacrifice Leviticus. The book of Leviticus tells you everything you need to sacrifice. This is God telling these people, this is what you have to do to be forgiven. I want you to understand the difference in Judaism and Christianity and the difference in what a Jew is. Listen, the Hebrew children, because of the promise to Jacob, aka Israel, were required to do certain things to atone for their sins. Blood sacrifices. God said, kill some, goddammit. You did wrong. Some got to goddamn die. I don't give a fuck if it's a bird or a dove. That's for a small sin. You went out here and robbed somebody and raped somebody's wife. You need to kill a whole ox, motherfucker. You need to be real sorry. So really, it's kind of like saying, when you really think about it, which you know that's not from God, because you know man said, shit, the bigger the sin, the bigger the sacrifice. Oh, man, all I did was fuck. I cheated on my old lady, man. I sacrificed a little sheep for that. Man, you stole somebody's wife and raped his daughter. Man, I got to give 2 cows and a goddamn ox for that. That's all it is. The children of Israel, Hebrews, notice, same thing. Same thing. They were a wandering people as Hebrews, and then they became the children of Israel when they was promised a nation. They had rules and regulations to follow. Well, Jesus was a Hebrew as well. Jesus was a child of Israel. When Jesus came on the scene, Jesus started preaching a new gospel that would make the people in the children of Israel, the Hebrews, obsolete. What do you mean, Javon? Well, when you got these priests that are at the temple, they're sacrificing the animals. When you bring your sacrifice in, the priests, the Levites, the scribes, the Pharisees, the top motherfuckers get first dibs off of it, just like the pastors today. I'm gonna make it plain for you. Jesus said, y'all ain't got to go through these motherfuckers no more. They corrupt. Same thing I'm saying. Y'all ain't got to go to church no more. These motherfuckers corrupt. When COVID came out and the government said you can't even go to church, they ain't even try to have church. They had church online so they still can get their bread. These motherfuckers is corrupt. Jesus said, y'all ain't got to do that sacrificing no more. And when people say, what? We ain't got to sacrifice? Who you think start hurting the most? Right now, if a man like me rose up and the people start listening to him, and I said, y'all ain't got to motherfucking pay no tithes, y'all don't have to give no money to no church, who y'all think is going to come against me? Do you think the people who I'm freeing going to come against me, or the religious leaders going to come against me? When Jesus said you don't have to follow these fucking laws of our elders anymore, they say, you got to die, motherfucker. You got to die, motherfucker. You know how much money we make at this motherfucking temple? Didn't we say last week they had the money changes? I told you I'm teaching in a series. Last week they had the money changes. They had the animals. Nigga, we getting paid up this bitch. Who the fuck are you? And the only thing he could do for the motherfuckers to say, I'm the son of God. Listen to me. Same way. Why the fuck you supposed to get this land? God told me. You got to put God on it or people ain't going to believe you. It ain't as effective. Your grandma tell you, boy, don't marry that girl. Grandma, I love that girl. Baby, God came to me in a dream, told me not to marry that girl. Now this shit got more effect. Got to scare you with God told me. So they like, who the fuck is this nigga? Talking about they ain't got to do what? Nigga, I'm eating off this shit. Who the fuck is he? We gonna kill this motherfucker. The Jews killed Jesus. The Hebrews, the religious, powerful Israelites killed Jesus. They killed him. And that's why to this day, Jews, these white people that we're going to get into in a minute, where they come from, they hate Jesus and they hate Christians and they hate Ishmael. They hate Muslims. They are actually in motherfucking Israel now killing Muslim children. They have a book talking about how they should kill Christians. They embarrassed. How do these motherfuckers who ain't even black, got black skin, how do these motherfuckers even get in and have a motherfucking say so about anything? Where these motherfuckers come from? Always sold out by one of our own people. Watch this. Story of Saul. Let me read that to you real quick. You got to understand who Saul was. Saul was an actual Jew. Saul was a Pharisee. And when Saul heard that Jesus said, you don't have to do all these Jewish sacrifices and shit no more, and heard that there was a lot of motherfuckers converting to follow Jesus, they was just, see, y'all don't understand. Jesus didn't come to start a Christian religion. Jesus came to tell his people, y'all don't have to listen to these motherfuckers telling y'all what to do no more. Y'all can talk straight to God. They said too many people following him. We got to get rid of them. Let me show you this right here. You got to understand who Paul is. His name was Saul. Saul was converted to Paul. What I tell y'all, anytime a motherfucker change his name, he got some goddamn bullshit with him. Didn't I tell you that now? Y'all see, they doing it today. They doing it today. Umar Johnson ain't named goddamn Umar Johnson. Brother Polite ain't named Brother Polite. Young Pharaoh, Noah Ali, that ain't his name. Louis Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, that ain't their name. Y'all be thinking I'm fucking with y'all. That name change shit, that's where the bullshit come at. We can't trace you. You can hide who you was. What you mean? I ain't know your daddy was white. How you such a powerful black leader and your daddy white? It's always the high yellow, light-skinned motherfucker that's want to be the most black power nigga in the world. You ever notice that? Huey Newton, half leader of the world. Angela Davis, half white. She want to be the goddamn leader of the world. I don't want to tell y'all who else half white who out here. Y'all don't even realize the nigga that started the Nation of Islam, Ford Muhammad, that ain't his name. He changed his name, and he was an ex-con cracker that changed his name. Y'all don't understand they've been doing this shit forever. Jacob changed his name to Israel. Why? Because he want to own some shit. Funny that God named Jacob the place. That's like I wrestled with God and he named me Durham. Well, you know God changed my name to Durham, so this my shit. I don't even understand what people. I wrestled with an angel of the Lord and he changed my name to Durham, so I own all this. You know God changed my name to New York City, man. And Saul yet breathing out. Let me read it in the different version for y'all. NIV. Yeah, let's see. Meanwhile, Saul was still breathing out murderers. Somebody put up Acts chapter 9, because I like it. Why did my phone? Hey, that goddamn phone doing it again, Mike. Somebody put up Acts chapter 9 up here so y'all can read it, because we finna really get into the meat of where these white folks come in and what this battle over the day. Acts chapter 9. Somebody put that up for me. Acts chapter 9. Acts chapter 9. I'm Umarin. Can I get a triple repeat? Can I get Acts chapter 9, y'all? Peace and power. Somebody put up Acts chapter 9 for me. Power and peace. Somebody put up Acts chapter 9. I need, I'm playing. Acts chapter 9. Meanwhile, Saul was still breathing out murderous threats against the Lord's disciples, meaning Saul was talking about anybody that fuck with Jesus, I'm getting on their ass, belt to ass. He went to the high priest and asked him for letters to go to the synagogues in Damascus so that if he found anyone there that belonged to the way, whether men or women, he might take them as prisoners to Jerusalem. So that's saying Saul went to the high priest. Saul went to the Hebrew Israelite high priest and said, you know, it's a lot of motherfuckers not following the rules, not paying their tribute to the temple, because this Jesus motherfucker talking about he the son of God and motherfuckers is following him. Let me go get these motherfuckers and round them up and bring them back here. We gonna hang some, we gonna boil some, we gonna fuck them up so they can realize don't be following this Jesus nigga, because he trying to turn you against the church, the temple of God. And as he neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice say to him, Saul, Saul, why do thou persecute me? Who are you, Lord? Saul asked. I am Jesus who you are persecuting, he replied. Now get up and go into the city. You must do what you are told. The men traveling with Saul stood speechless. They heard the sound but did not see anyone. Saul got up from the ground, but when he opened his eyes, he couldn't see nothing. So they led him by the hand to Damascus. For 3 days he was blind and did not drink anything. In Damascus there was a disciple named Ananias. The Lord called to him in a vision. Yes, he said to the Lord. The Lord said to him, go to the house of Judas on the straight street and ask for a man named Saul, for he is praying. Lord answered Ananias, I have many reports about this man and all the harm he does to your holy people. Has he come here with authority from the chief and priest to arrest all that call on your name? Now y'all see what's being said. Saul was going to fuck some followers of Jesus up. You motherfuckers following Jesus, not paying your tithes and your offering, not worshiping the temple, not giving your first fruit, talking about you ain't gonna circumcise your dick. Fuck that. That was one of the main things. A Hebrew had to circumcise his dick. You notice them white boys, they bite the dick off when the baby brand new. Nah, they ain't never bit no dicks off in the Bible. I don't know why they do that. I've been looking for that. They ain't bite the dick tip off. So Saul was going to fuck some Christians up. The Bible says Saul is a lying ass motherfucker. Let's just keep it real. And I'll show you. There were other times in the Bible where Peter and the other disciples called him a lying ass motherfucker. You got to read this shit. Saul a lying ass nigga. Saul had the concept, if you can't beat him, join him. What do you mean if you can't beat him, join him? All right, I'm Saul. I'm a Pharisee. I'm eating off people's sacrifices. Now, Jesus said, don't feed me. Fuck that. So Saul said he was on the road to Damascus. Jesus spoke to him, said, stop killing Christians. And then told him, not only don't kill Christians, you gonna go to the Gentiles, non-Jews. That's where these other motherfuckers come in. So you got to get this. Saul spent several days with the disciples in Damascus. And once he began to preach in the synagogues that Jesus is the Son of God, all those who heard him were astonished and asked, isn't this the man who caused havoc in Jerusalem amongst all who called on the name of Jesus? And hasn't he come here to take them as prisoners? Yet Saul grew more and more powerful and baffled the Jews living in Damascus, proving that Jesus is the Messiah. After many days had gone by, there was a conspiracy among the Jews to kill him. Notice, there it go. Anything against us, we gonna kill. We gonna kill. But his followers took him by night. When he came to Jerusalem, he tried to join the disciples. When Paul came to Jerusalem, he tried to join the disciples that was with Jesus, but they were afraid of him, not believing that he really was a disciple. They said, motherfucker, we know you was killing Christians, well, not Christians, followers of Jesus. Now, all of a sudden, you on our team? Disciples was like, nah, we ain't fucking with you. We ain't fucking with you. But Barnabas took him and brought him to apostles. He told them how on his journey he had seen the Lord and had spoken to him and how Damascus. So Saul stayed with them and moved freely. He debated with them. Now, long story short, without having to read all this, Saul was a Hebrew Jew of the tribe of Benjamin, eating off the church. When Jesus started straying motherfuckers away from the church, Saul said, damn, I can't beat this nigga. I got to join him. So instead of trying to kill Christians or followers of Jesus, I'm going to say I'm a follower of Jesus now, right? I'm a follower of Jesus. Not only am I a follower of Jesus, I'm going to preach and tell anybody they can be a follower of Jesus. And not only can they be a follower of Jesus, they don't have to be a Hebrew to follow Jesus. This is where the Jews come in. This is where the fuck up come in. This is where the fuck up come in. Paul and his bullshit, letting anybody into the fold. But ain't that what black people do? We'll let anybody into the cookout. Ain't that what we do? We were doing that back in the day. Paul was a black-skinned nigga. He was a Hebrew Israelite. We were Hebrew Israelites. He was a black-skinned nigga that said anybody can come into the motherfucking cookout. And that's what we do to this day. That's what we do to this day. Paul said anybody and everybody can be a part of this shit. And look at where he said it at. Under the old covenant, one had to be from a certain bloodline, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, to fall under the category of a Hebrew or Israelite. You had to be under the bloodline. Now, like we said, once Israel and Judah separate and Israel is destroyed and Judah is the place, Paul said, anybody who comes to this city and lives here and lives amongst us in Judah is considered a Jew. Now we got a new word. The word Jew won't out until Paul started talking that shit. Now we got a new word. We got a new word. We got a Jew. What the fuck is a Jew? Anybody that want to be down, that live in this city. Ho, 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 ho. Well, what's the first thing crackers do? What? It's a place with some good shit. We running there. Same thing them crackers went and did and got $5 Indian status in America. Same thing they did over there. They went and got $5 Jew status. What the hell is happening to my computer? Paul said, for no one is a Jew who is merely outwardly, nor is circumcision outwardly or physically. But a Jew is one inwardly. What you mean? Inwardly? You feel like a Jew? Listen to what he said. Romans 2:29. Romans 2:29. But a Jew is one inwardly. In your heart, you can be a Jew. A Jew is one inwardly, and circumcision is a matter of heart by the Spirit, not by the letter. The letter is what? The law. You are written in because you are a descendant. Paul let all these other motherfuckers in. Look at Ephesians. Remember, he's talking to the Hebrews. Remember that you were at one time separated from Christ, alienated from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers to the covenant. Can Gentiles be true Jews? No. No. No, they can't. White folks are Gentiles. When you read the Bible, Romans, Corinthians, Ephesians, Thessalonians, Galatians, these are letters that a Hebrew Paul wrote to white people saying, y'all can be us if you come pay tribute. Why do you think it's like that now? You can just say you a Christian if you go to church and pay your tithes. Well, what do you got to do? Nothing. You can sin, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. And that's what Paul started telling the Hebrews. And the Peter and the other disciples got mad. Say, what you mean you telling these people they ain't got to be Hebrew? What you mean? So what if they live in motherfucking Judah? We don't give a fuck if they live in Judah, and we don't give a fuck about this Jew shit. We children of the covenant. We brown-skinned motherfuckers who are children of the covenant. We of the bloodline. Well, anybody can be part of the bloodline in their heart. Ain't that what we do now? I'm a man. I feel like a woman in my heart. You a woman because of your heart, motherfucker? Are you crazy? Listen at what Paul says. Romans 3:21. The righteousness of God has been manifested apart from the law. What you mean? How you have righteousness apart from the law? The law is doing right. What the fuck you mean? God gave 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill, steal, whatever, you know them. Follow the law, you right. This motherfucker says the righteousness of God has been manifested apart from the law. You ain't even got to do right. Why you think Jews can do what they do? They don't do nothing right. Rob, steal, kill, everything. But they don't need the law. The righteousness of God through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe. So all you got to do is believe, and you one of these. You one of these, there's no distinction. All have sinned and deprived of the glory of God. They are justified freely through his grace. What the fuck are you talking about? Muslims have to go to Mecca. Muslims have to pray 5 times a day. Muslims have to do shit. Watch what he says. Romans 2:27-29. I'm just showing you where he's letting these motherfuckers in. Romans 2:27-29. The one who is not circumcised, a non-circumcised people. That's how they knew. You got to think there were whites, brown-skinned people. A motherfucker walk up on you and say, hey, man, what are you? I'm Hebrew. Let me see your dick. They know if your dick skin ain't gone, you ain't no Hebrew. Everybody had a turtle dove on their dick, what they call it, a turtleneck on their dick. That was the sign that showed that you was God chosen people. The fact that you was, now notice how white people are when they tell these stories. The fact that you would cut the tip of your dick off says that you God's chosen people. Ain't that believable though when you really think about it? Somebody come up to me now as a grown man and say, hey man, cut the tip of your dick off. Hell no. If you love God, you would do it. Think about how many people back in the day, how much of an argument that caused. Well, I live in Judah. I want to be part of the tribe. I want to be a Jew. I want all the rights. Got to cut your tip of your dick off. Hell no, man. Hell no. Hell no, man. I ain't cutting the tip of my dick off to prove shit. And that actually became a big argument. I'm going to show you that. Paul was saying, the disciples were saying, look, if we gonna let these white motherfuckers be a part of us, they got to follow the law. They got to get their dick cut too. They can't eat this. They can't eat that. They got to follow us, goddammit. If we gonna let these white motherfuckers in, they got to get their dick clipped too. Paul said, no, they don't. The one who is not circumcised physically and yet obeys the law will condemn you, who even though you have had the written code, the circumcision is not of your heart. Why you keep talking about heart? Why you keep talking about heart, man? Is he following the law or is he a brown-skinned motherfucker? Why you let these motherfuckers in? And now we can't get them out. Now we can't get them out. You know why? Because they own a piece of land now. And because they own the piece of land, the United States of America has to say, well, we trying to bewitch our people with this Jesus shit. So we can't just go over here and bomb the place Jesus was born. That'll destroy everybody that we brainwashed. Israel owns the media. Israel owns our government. Israel pays our senators. Donald Trump want to bomb that shit. But if he do, what does that say to Christians? Oh my God, I thought America was a God-fearing country. You bombed the place where Jesus was born? Ain't that some smart shit though? Look, watch this. It's so few of them. They are so weak. They can't even defend their own nation. But they said Jesus was born here. It's a holy land. Muhammad was here. This is the holy land for Christians, Jews, and Muslims. Well, why Jews own it? The United States gave it to them. The United States gave them Israel to make the Christian story more plausible and more believable. Some fuck shit. These my cousins. These my white cousins. This is my white brother from another mother. No, he's not. He's not. Revelations 2:9. That's when Jesus is warning us. John is warning us through Christ. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. Who are these people who say they are Jews, but they are not? These are the people that moved to Charlotte, and we call them charlatans, but you're not of the Trail Perry bloodline. Remember earlier I said, you're not of the bloodline. You just live here. You have to think about this. Let's be real. Let's use our common sense. Who is the bloodline of this land? We know for sure it ain't white Europeans. They told you they came over here. We know for sure it ain't all these fucking immigrants, because we know they came over here. The only motherfuckers we know for sure that was here was brown-skinned people, black-skinned people. This is ours by birthright, by bloodline. And guess what they did? Now everybody is an American. So much so that black people who are the birthright to this nation are fighting for Venezuelan gang members to stay here. Now everybody an American. No, the fuck you're not an American, motherfucker. You not an American. You live in America. And you other motherfuckers that call yourself American that were born here, you're not an American. You took this place. The Americans are brown-skinned, dark-skinned people. Who the fuck is these synagogues of Satan? That's what he called them. You call yourself a Jew, but you're a synagogue of Satan. Revelations 3:9, the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, are not and do lie. A building. We have to understand when it's all said and done, these motherfuckers have power in our black lives to this day. You see what they did to Kyrie Irving. You see what they did to Kanye West. It's about media. When you can't control something, Zondervan Publishing owns the Bible. Why do they own the Bible? Why do these motherfuckers own the Bible? Why do they own the Bible? Galatians 2:14, I want you to see what Paul said to Peter. Now, Peter was a Jew. Paul tried to play Peter and make Peter feel bad. Galatians 2:14. These are the disciples arguing. Y'all didn't know that. Paul.
Galatians chapter 2, verse 14 describes Paul confronting Peter for hypocrisy. Paul criticized Peter for living like a Gentile, but then forcing Gentile believers to follow Jewish customs. This passage emphasizes justification by faith, not by following the law, and highlights the importance of standing for the truth of the gospel.
This shit is amazing to me. Peter was of the 12 disciples that actually walked with Jesus. Y'all understanding this? Let me show you the power of the Jewish media. Peter was with the 12 disciples that walked with Jesus. I gotta read this to you. So you can see what I'm saying. I gotta read this to you so you can see how Paul and his Jewish-led media fucked Peter over. Watch this. I gotta read this to you because this is coming out of Jesus' mouth. Matthew 16:18. Matthew 16:18. This is Jesus telling Peter.
In Matthew chapter 16,
you the motherfucking
verse 18,
man.
Jesus calls Simon.
This is Matthew telling Peter, you the motherfucking man. Matthew 16:18. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock will I build my church. Peter, you are the rock, the solid foundation for which I will build my church. Jesus himself told Peter, who was a Jew, Hebrew motherfucker, that said you had to follow the motherfucking law. And Paul come in. When you read the Bible, Paul took the power from Peter by making up a lie and said Jesus told him, everybody is welcome. Think about this. Who's going to be more loved, the strict motherfucker or the inclusive motherfucker? Y'all see it today. Republicans are conservative. That means they strict, straight-laced, Bible believing, don't abort your kids, no gayness, no transgenderism, men and women are married, kids can't turn to women. Who's going to be more loved? The inclusive motherfuckers. Democrats, yay, Gentiles. You can be gay. You can do any motherfucking thing you want. You can rape kids. You can do anything. You can do anything. Who you think going to be more popular? Peter saying, hey, ho, ho, ho. Now, I know Jesus said this, but you know, y'all still, if you're going to be Hebrew, you got to be of our color and follow our customs. Paul saying, anybody, come along, anybody who is going to be more loved and accepted. The motherfucker that take anybody in. That's why the LBGT got so big. We'll take any motherfucking body. You can be lesbian or gay or straight, transgender, queer, QIA+. We'll take any motherfucker. That's what Paul did. Confess in your mouth and believe in your heart, and you saved anybody. Anybody can join. Jesus says salvation is for the Jews. Jesus says salvation is for one group of motherfuckers. And I tell you that Peter, on this rock, I will build my church. Peter got 2 books in the Bible, 1st and 2nd Peter. Paul wrote Romans, Ephesians, Galatians, Thessalonians. Goddamn, Paul pretty much wrote the whole New Testament. Paul took it from him, letting everybody be a part of it. Everybody. And in the process, he let these fucking modern day Jews in, and they stand on that. These are the scriptures they use to stand on it. Galatians 2:14. Galatians 2:14. Come on, Android.
Galatians chapter 2, verse 14.
Look at how, let me say 14 through 20, just for the fuck of it. Look at how Paul, who didn't even walk with Jesus, called himself checking Peter. Not only did Peter walk with Jesus, Peter was the one that walked out on the water with Jesus. Peter could perform miracles. Who the fuck is you checking Jesus' right-hand man, nigga? Who the fuck you think you is? See, y'all don't know this. This is in the Bible. They hated each other. Watch what Paul said to Peter. When I saw that you were not acting in line with the truth of the gospel, I said to Cephas in front of all them, I called you out, nigga. Look what he said to Peter. You are a Jew, let you live like a Gentile and not like a Jew. How is it that when you force Gentiles to follow Jewish customs? We who are Jews by birth and not sinful Gentiles know that a person is not justified by the works, but by faith. So we too have put our faith in. What you mean? Who the fuck are you? You rolling up on Peter like, and Peter had the goddamn, that's where the saying come, robbing Peter to pay Paul. There you go, Trap. There you go. Where you, oh boy, see, that's, I love when somebody can relate and bring a modern day. You robbed Peter to pay Paul. That's it. See, old folks knew this some bullshit. This some bullshit. Thank you for throwing that saying out there. Clearly evidence of the bullshit that I'm talking about right now. Why they ain't said robbing Paul to pay Peter? Didn't I just tell you the scripture said, Jesus said, Peter, upon you, I'm giving the church, you the rock. So Peter had something. He had the fucking golden ticket, the promise from Jesus. And Paul fucking took it from him. And let everybody and they goddamn mama say they a Jew now. We Jews by heart. When you see these white Jews and you ask them how y'all, they don't even call themselves Jews. They say we Jewish. We wish. We ain't fully blackish. He ain't fully black. He got a little white in him. He Jewish. Motherfucker, can nigga, are you certified driver? I'm drive-ish. That ish mean I ain't fully it. Can anybody in here think of a word with ish on the back? A word with ish on the back that mean this shit ain't fully out there. I'm Christian-ish. Whenever somebody say ish, that mean I ain't fully that. Let these motherfuckers in, and they don't even try to justify. They'll tell you, we are white men, Ashkenazis, kicked out of all over the world. We are not the people of the Bible, but in our heart, we feel like Jesus promised this. When you ask them, the first thing people say, well, y'all white, y'all not black. So what? We don't give a fuck. We like childish. Somebody say, you childish, motherfucker. You ain't a full child. You acting like a child. You ain't a Jew. You acting like a Jew. You Jewish. You animalish. You ain't no animal. You act like it sometime. And we stand around right now, and these motherfuckers then wrote their self in and running shit. You know why you can run shit when you write yourself in? Because you don't have to follow the rules. Like I said earlier, if I'm a member of the Trav Perry family and I got all the afforded the rights and benefits of the Trav family, but I don't have to follow the rules. I can go anywhere I want to under the name of Trav. And they said, well, the Perry family normally is respectable people. They wait in line. Fuck that. I'm here under the name of Trav. I don't follow the rules. I don't have to wait in line. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't follow the rules. The Bible says you ain't supposed to charge interest. I don't have to follow the motherfucking law. I charge interest. That's what Jews do. They cripple the economy everywhere they go by charging interest. Y'all don't understand how bad interest is. But when you get your credit card bill, you know. I remember when I first got out of college, I had an account charged off on me, right? So when I got my next credit card, my credit card was a $500 limit, right? And watch what interest does. That shit had a 39% interest rate. I ain't know what that meant. I knew what it meant, but I ain't give a fuck. So you charging me $39 on every 100? Fuck you mean? So once I spend $500 on this card, next month I owe $539, and then that keep compounding. That's how you bankrupt a nation. These motherfuckers been kicked out of every place on the face of this earth, 120 countries. And you know why America really helped them get Israel? Because America said, we don't want y'all motherfuckers over here. They'd have been kicked out of 120 countries. America say, y'all fucking with Hitler, we beefing with Germany. Oh shit, well damn, now we got a common enemy. America said, look, we'll give y'all motherfuckers Palestine. Y'all been arguing over that shit forever. Y'all motherfuckers can have Palestine. You motherfuckers can't live in America. Y'all have your own nation. We'll help y'all. We'll fight on y'all behalf because that's Jesus' homeland. But you motherfuckers cannot live here. People don't realize that these very same people during the time of Germany, they were responsible. They love bestiality. They love bestiality. They love pedophilia. And they love homosexuality. So when people say Hitler burnt the books, they had bestiality and perversion. Hitler wanted them motherfuckers out. Think about it now. In America, what do? What do they promote? Killing rap music, shoot them up. Demonic, Marilyn Manson. Blood in the rock band. They promote all that shit. They control Hollywood. They control TV. They killed Charlie Kirk because he woke up and said, you know what? These motherfuckers are evil. They monitoring YouTube now. They're listening to this. I'm going to show you next week where they're going to strike this. But what's happening is you got people like Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens. You got people that are coming up on these social media sites that's speaking against them. They got the Anti-Defamation League. What is the Anti-Defamation League? Anybody that says something about us, we're going to call them an anti-Semite and destroy their career. They got AIPAC, that American Israel PAC. Any senator or representatives that come out and speaks against them, we're going to destroy their career. We're going to destroy their motherfucking career. John F. Kennedy stood up against them. Bow, bow, dead. When Trump was running, he spoke out. They tried to kill him. And we sit back and not realize that these are the ones that were behind the civil rights movement. Tricking Dr. King, thinking they cared about him. All the while they said, well, if Americans, see, y'all don't realize how Jews did. And I'm going to show you this before we get out of here. Watch this. The Jews knew the way Americans hate niggas, if they give them motherfuckers rights, they'll give anybody motherfucking rights. I'm going to say it again. The Jews say America and the way America hate niggas, if they give them motherfuckers rights, they'll give anybody rights. And the whole time, this was behind it. Now we see what they was doing. We see it. And if America give niggas rights, they'll give gays and widows rights. And now we see, once America gave gays rights, they'll give any motherfucking crazy motherfucker rights. Let the man in a dress go in the bathroom. Let the man in the dress go in the bathroom with the children and women. Let the man go to prison and get his dick cut off and get a transplant in jail. This is how much they pervert things. These are the people that sleep with children. The Talmud. I think I downloaded some stuff that's in the Talmud. Let me see, can I find it in my phone? That say what these motherfuckers can do. Man, I don't need to read this shit out loud. I'm getting nervous, Jack. Let me see, can I find it? I might not want to read this. God damn. The Talmud. The Talmud. I ain't lying. Somebody look up Ovoda Zera 37A. Shit, we'll do it. I'm going to type it. I don't want y'all to think I'm lying. I want y'all to do this. I'm going to type it and then somebody look it up. AVODAHZARA 37A. I don't want y'all to goddamn confuse me. I want y'all to see this shit in real time. Somebody type that up right there. And I'm gonna wait for a second. I'm gonna play my song while we waiting on that. Somebody type that up. I'm gonna give y'all some assignments while I type my song. I wrote down some stuff. I wrote down some stuff. Each person takes something. I'm gonna play my song. Put a T on that. Shabbat 32B. I want somebody to look this stuff up for me. And it'll make the lesson go better. so you can see what I'm saying. I want y'all to see what I'm saying, and then I'm gonna read a few. Just put them two up. I'm gonna play my song real quick, Sunday service, before we get out of here, because I want you to see what's going on out this motherfucker.
What up, family? I'd like to welcome y'all to Aggressive Church.
Somebody put them things up there for me, Jack.
Well, we do things a little different around here. But we go through the scriptures and read the real fucking Bible. And regardless of what you say,
and we living under this shit.
We just gonna teach God's word and let the chips fall where it may. Y'all understand that? Said they talked about my Savior, pierced his hands and feet. And if Jesus had his haters, hate on look on me. You know when that dreadful day comes, you can't die for me. So somebody pass me my liquor drink. Lord knows, Lord knows, and I'm gonna weed. Lord knows, I have me a lady or two. Lord, I'm in the streets. You can lead a sinning to me. So they talked about my Savior, pierced his hands and feet. And if Jesus had his haters, hate on look on me. You know when that dreadful day comes, you can't die for me. So somebody pass me my liquor drink. Lord knows, Lord knows, and I'm gonna weed. Lord knows, I'm gonna have me a lady or two. Lord, I'm in the streets. You can lead a sinning to me.
Look at this shit. Since a 9-year-old boy is fit in intercourse, he also imparts ritual impurity as one who experienced Zevia. Ravina said, therefore, with regard to a female Gentile now, who is 3 years and 1 day old, is fit to engage in intercourse at that age. What the fuck? And I wrote down some of the most heinous shit these motherfuckers say. Avoda Sarah 37a. A Jew may have sex with a child as is with 3 days and 1 day old. Backward 45b. Cushy. Black people aren't qualified to perform in temple service. Kill the best of the Gentiles. Talmud. Shabbat 32b. Each Jew will have 2,800 slaves. Y'all know they started the slave trade. Evan 43b. Once the Messiah arrives, all nations shall serve the Jews. Bava Mitzvah 11. Jews are human. Gentiles are not. And they are the real fucking Gentiles. Sanhedrin 57a. It is permissible for a Jew to rob a Gentile. Bible, 113b. A Jew does not have to pay back loans owed to a Gentile. Sanhedrin 59a. If a Gentile studies the Torah, he is liable to receive death. That's why the white man, the white man actually took the Talmud and borrowed it when he did all this shit that just sounds like the stuff white people did to slaves, punishable for learning to read. If a Gentile hits a Jew, it's permissible to kill him. That's Sanhedrin 58b. Sanhedrin 57a. It's permissible for a Jew to murder a Gentile, but prohibited for a Gentile to murder a Jew. Man, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. And these motherfuckers are the real Gentiles. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing now. She got to be 3 years old in 1 day and you could fuck a child, man. They bite the little boy's skin off his dick openly at the circle. Who participates in this? This little boy is 8 days old. They wait till he's 8 days old. This little boy is 8 days old. And so many people get herpes like that. They giving these little boys herpes because they got herpes on their mouth and biting these little boys' foreskin off. They do this at their service now. That's why I dick circumcised. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know that's why we got our dick circumcised? That's a biblical thing from the Hebrews. That's why our dick circumcised. These motherfuckers is crazy, man. Like I said, today's Bible study was sponsored. Y'all hit that master teacher, that little gray box at my bottom left. Y'all can bless the Lord, oh your soul, and all that is within you. Let's get out of here. Y'all stay tuned in for next week's lesson. Let's get out of here. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do, Jack.
What up, family? I'd like to welcome y'all to Aggressive Church. But we do things a little different around here. But we go through the scriptures and read the real fucking Bible. And regardless of what you say and how you feel, we just gonna teach God's word. Let the chips fall where it may. Y'all understand that?
Said they talked about my Savior, pierced his hands and feet. And if Jesus had his haters, hate don't look on me. You know when that dreadful day comes, you can't die for me. So somebody pass me my liquor drink. Lord, no, I'm gonna smoke. Lord, no, and I'm gonna eat. Lord, no, I'm gonna have me a lady or two. Lord, I'm in the streets. You can lead a sinner to me. So they talked about my Savior.
They talked about the Lord, man. Y'all think I'm worried about what y'all say about me? Yes, sir. You can't die for me.
So somebody pass me my liquor drink.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Lord, no. I'm gonna have Lord, no. Lord, no. I'm in the streets. You can lead a sin to me.
Yes, sir. Y'all better pass me my motherfucking liquor drink. And the funny thing is so sad about it. The motherfuckers that say they love God is drinking, smoking, fucking, and wilding out the most. I see these niggas say they love God, having babies on the side, doing all types of shit I won't do. Yes, sir. Say they talked about my Savior while they cleansed and through his feet. And if Jesus had his haters, I know they gon' hate on me. Somebody pass me my liquor drink. I know the motherfucker gonna hate me and hate that. Pass me my goddamn liquor drink, man. Yes, sir. Them motherfuckers is ready to get out of church and bet on the football game and get them old two wing special from Bojangles. Somebody pass me my liquor drink. Lord, no. Yeah. You know, when I was a young man, the first time I fell in love with the word of God, I knew God was in my spirit and I knew he was there for me and I knew I was going to be a man of God. But as I grow older, people started to tell me that I had to do a certain thing and live a certain way. They tried to tell me I couldn't drink. They tried to tell me I couldn't smoke. They tried to tell me I couldn't get no pussy. They tried to tell me I couldn't go to the club and I couldn't party. And I found out all the things that I like doing. I said I might as well go to hell because I'm going to party and I'm going to club and I'm going to play a little tonk. I'm going to gamble a little bit. I'm going to beat my meat too now. Don't let nobody tell you can't eat your meat. Somebody pass me my liquor dream. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the dopest show on the earth. Peace.